Two MBBS graduates, a BCA student, an MCA student, a junior research fellow at the DRDO, and of course a qualified journalist. Could these young men from high-profile backgrounds be part of anti-national activities? Is this the changing face of terror? Each is in their 20s with clear backgrounds. Does the Bangalore police have enough to support its claim against these arrested young men? We follow the case in detail. Who is the mastermind for this alleged terror network that the Karnataka Police busted last week? A journalist based in Bangalore who was working for a popular English daily has been termed as the mastermind, the points person who was planning to assassinate journalists, columnists, politicians, as well as representatives of Hindu organizations. But now sources have revealed to NDTV that he too was reporting to another boss. Muttayur Rahman's stories as the higher education beat reporter in an English daily may have created headlines in Bangalore, but since the time he was termed as the mastermind in a terror plot the police claims to have busted, his story is getting murkier by the day. 26-year-old Siddiqui was arrested from this flat in North Bangalore. The qualified journalist from Dharwad, according to the police, was working for a team of the LET based in Saudi Arabia. This allegation based on call list from his mobile phone for the last 3 months and transcripts of conversations. His roommates, many young professionals like MCA student Shoaib Mirza, his brother, a DRDO research fellow, Ejaz Mirza, and a BCA graduate Riaz Baihati, who was working as a salesman, were arrested too. According to the police, they plan to eliminate columnists and politicians in Bangalore and North Karnataka. Sources reveal Shoaib Mirza and Dr. Naeem Siddiqui played the role of a recruiter to bring in more youth into the organization. One of the ways of doing this was to put up inflammatory speeches on social networking sites to find like-minded youth. Dr. Zafar Iqbal and Ejaz Mirza got trained in the Saudi Arabia, according to the police, and played the role of trainer. Akram, a youth from Nanded, is apparently an associate of Shahid Bilal in Hyderabad, who was allegedly involved in many terror attacks in the south. Akram, Riaz and Yusuf helped with the logistics. Sources in the investigation team reveal that they are shocked over the changing profile of suspects being arrested only on the basis of interrogation, of course. The mobile phone transcripts of each of the conversations that they have made in the last 3 months has been sent across to forensic laboratories to try and get some clarity over what is the exact role played by each of them, considering most have a clear background and all are below 30 years of age.
One weapon has been seized, 7.65 mm pistol and 7 rounds.
On the 29th of August, 6 youth were arrested in Bangalore and 5 from Hubli. On the 1st of September, a youth from the Old City area of Hyderabad was arrested too. Another youth from Nanded was nabbed in Bangalore on the basis of interrogation on the 2nd of September. And another young doctor from Dharwad arrested in Bangalore on the 3rd of September. That the Central Home Ministry has said there was indeed a plot in place waiting to be executed by some of these men has been a shot in the arm for the state police. But even as the police continues questioning these young arrested men who are in custody until the 13th of September, the department itself has some answering to do. How is the police sure of the Saudi Arabian link? A laptop, a mobile phone, some SIM cards, some documents and of course Islamic literature along with some CDs have been seized from some of the youths. Is that proof enough to say that they have terror links? If yes, then is this a trained group which has travelled abroad, or is it a group of self-radicalized young men with similar ideology? The families fail to make sense of these arrests. So do several skeptics who raise eyebrows given the BJP is ruling Karnataka and given some notorious arrests in the past. Radhika Iyer in Bangalore for NDTV. An allegation leading to an arrest, accused of terror activities, and then finally, after long years of wait, acquittal. This is the story of several young Muslims in India. The families' wait, ordeal and pain cannot be described. These families of the 14 men arrested in Bangalore and North Karnataka too are in shock even days after the arrest. One father was hoping that his doctor's son would treat him for his heart disease this week. Another mother, whose only son and the breadwinner of the family has been arrested, says she is left with tears and prayers alone.
No, I am telling you, last for 2 months, as soon as they completed their marriage, they are totally busy, only studying. No other thinking, no TV watching, no time for any extra curricular activities. Totally isolated, they used to sit in their bedroom, only study.
The father of an MBBS graduate making no sense of his doctor son's arrest in a terror-related case. This forest conservator's third son, Dr. Zafar Iqbal, is the third doctor in his family. The allegation that the 26-year-old from Hubli, who got married just 2 months ago and wanted to pursue higher education, works for the Lashkar-e-Taiba. Incidentally, his home is a stone's throw away from the Karnataka Chief Minister Jagdish Shettar's home in Hubli in North Karnataka. According to a confessional statement provided by the police, Zafar had admitted that he wanted to travel to Pakistan via Iran. He even took a visiting visa from the Iranian consulate in Hyderabad. Eventually, he did travel to Tehran and met some ISI officials.
It will be all in vain if anything goes wrong, if injustice is done against my son. So I request my government of Karnataka, government of India to give maximum support and give justification for my son, and he must be released very immediately.
Rahman's younger brother, Siddiqui, had made the family proud 4 years ago when he joined a popular English daily in Bangalore as a reporter. Today, he is termed as the mastermind of a group which was planning to assassinate some journalists and some representatives of the right-wing groups. The journalist's cell phone recordings for the last 3 months indicate that he made several phone calls to Saudi Arabia and was working as per instructions by a team there. Rahman says his younger brother was an efficient and responsible young man. The family cries that he could never be a part of any anti-national activity.
कि मेरे भाई के ताल्लुक से वो जहाँ उसकी तालीम हुई है, जहाँ एजुकेशन हुई है, जहाँ वो रहा है, जिस तरह के लोगों से उसके ताल्लुकात हैं, और लास्ट 3 ईयर से वो एक कामयाब सक्सेसफुल रिपोर्टर रहा है एक रिप्यूटेड इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर का. तो वहाँ से भी आप पता करें, जहाँ उसकी एजुकेशन हुई वहाँ पता करें, जहाँ पे वो रहा है, जहाँ पे पैदा हुआ है वहाँ मालूमात.
सऊदी अरब में कौन रहते हैं आपके?
सऊदी अरब में कोई भी नहीं है हमारे, और ये जो अफवाह उड़ाएगी बिल्कुल गलत है.
Among the youngsters who were arrested is a young software programmer by name Ejaz Mirza, who was working for the DRDO in the last 6 months. He was a junior research fellow at the Airborne Early Warning System Wing Control of the DRDO. Of course, the institution came out immediately with a clarification saying he had no access to sensitive information. His elder brother, Shoaib Mirza, a net-savvy MCA student, has been arrested too. The father of the two brothers say that the two sons were extremely pious and patriotic and loved their work and family. Sources say only 6 of the arrested men were actively part of the conspiracy. Most had even travelled abroad for a training for over a year. But families argue that the abroad travel is a concocted theory. The families of the youth are now consulting lawyers.
Given this fact, the whole incident smacks of something suspicious. We are more concerned that the police will do its role and the senior officers will ensure that a proper investigation is carried out, and if these people who are accused of being terrorists, if they don't find anything against them, that they would be released without a charge sheet being filed. Previous experience is that unnecessarily the trial will go on for 8, 10, 12 years, and the life of these people is really wasted for those 10, 12 years. Their careers are destroyed. And what you have is a man who comes out of the jail totally disillusioned.
Radhika Iyer in Bangalore for NDTV.
Last Friday, even as a college student was being arrested by the Bangalore police in Hyderabad, the city police arrested 2 men and seized posters from them that said thousands of young men were being kept in jails across the country, from Ahmedabad to Hyderabad, from Jaipur to Kolkata, for crimes that they had not committed, and that the community must unite against this. What this shows is a dangerous trend. Following the developments after the Mecca Masjid blast, after which Muslim youth were accused only to be acquitted later, there are certain groups that are now trying to feed in on that feeling of victimization and alienation of the community.
Obaidur Rahman has no previous police record. This BCom student was picked up by the Bangalore police from outside his home in Hyderabad last Friday.
Obaidur Rahman was a local contact for them who was used for giving shelter as well as to provide them with the local address and to take those people around so that they could, understand things better or maybe help them carrying out any operation if they wanted to.
उसकी कोई ऐसी गलती नहीं है, ऐसा कोई बड़ा दारिंदा कातिल नहीं है उन्हें.
Tahira Khatun says her grandson is not a terrorist. The 22-year-old has been alleged to be a Huji operative who gave shelter to Akram, another terror suspect from Nanded. The police had reportedly tracked his phone calls and email that allegedly point to his complicity.
उनका कोई साथ का बच्चा बाहर भी नहीं है दोस्त. उन्होंने बात करेंगे बोलने को. उन्होंने हाई की तो 21 साल के अभी पढ़ना भी नहीं खत्म हुआ. मगर मामों से, मुमानी से, बहनों से, बहना है मेरे बहना है बाहर, ऐसा उनसे ही बातचीत कभी आया तो फोन उनके नंबर पे आया तो मेरे को भी देता. बात करो दादी अम्मी, बाजी का फोन है, आप ही का फोन है.
The family says they are willing to fight in a court of law, but they are upset about what they call stories being planted in the media to make Obaid seem like a terrorist. For example, reports that said a weapon was recovered from Obaid is a lie, claims the family.
सुबह नाइट शूट पे निकला था, ट्रैक पैंट पे, जिसको जो है ना पॉकेट्स तक नहीं है, और उसके टी शर्ट थी. यहाँ से बाहर निकला, उसको सामने पकड़ लिया गया और गाड़ी से उसी हालत में ले लेके चले गए. उसके बाद उसके फ़ोन के अलावा कोई चीज़ नहीं थी और पुलिस उसके बाद से अब तक बच्चा हमको दिखा ही नहीं. पुलिस घर को ही नहीं आई, तो रिकवर करने का तो दूर दूर तक कोई चांस ही नहीं है. हमारे पास कोई चीज़ ही नहीं रिकवर करने के लिए और पुलिस आई नहीं घर पे.
Maulana Nasruddin, uncle of Obaid's father, says the young man was arrested only because of his association with him. The Maulana is known to be a firebrand cleric in Hyderabad who spent several years in jail in Ahmedabad and returned home after being acquitted 3 years ago.
वो मेरे साथ रहता, वो पुलिस को नापसंद है. उसको पकड़ा है, वो इसलिए पकड़ा है कि हमारा हैदराबाद के अंदर हमारा इमेज खराब रहना और हमारे नाम से पूरे लोगों को डराना.
The Muslim community is watching the recent arrest with more than a cursory interest. The turn of events following the Mecca Masjid blast, after which Muslim youth were picked up and labelled as terrorists only to be exonerated later, has damaged the credibility of the investigating agencies. Mistakes once more could prove very costly.
In Hyderabad, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
The fear among the families is that with such an allegation, which they believe is completely false, the career and lives of their loved ones could be completely finished. Even as we are hearing that there could be more arrests in the coming days, even as claims and counterclaims from the police, from activists and the families continue. We track all the developments as it happens here on NDTV. For now, thank you for watching.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.